Hello everybody. This video will be dedicated to discuss the interior finishes for floors and walls. And what we did previously, that we input a floor for the ground floor and the first floor, which is the basic floor. And let me just show you something over here. Filter that and just select the floors and go to edit type. The name of the family or the type is Inside to Concrete 200, and as you can see, it's only made of concrete sand screed, damp proofing, and concrete cast in place in situ. These are the only things that our main floor consists of. And as we know all that we need to make finishes for the different types of floors, which is more than what we have. So what we will do, we will create 3 new floors and we will add them up. The one is for the offices. We have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the other another 4, that's 8 in two offices, in 2 floors. That would be 16, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4 toilets with 2 floors, that 4 toilets, and we have the rest, the entry and the corridors. We have different finishes for these things. That's the first thing. The second thing, we want to create a special kind of walls for the toilets, which will be another thing that we will do, and we will do it in 2 different ways. Great. How can we do these things? The first thing that we will do, we'll go to floor architectural, and we will select one of the families. I'm going to select generic 150, but you can select whatever family that you would like to as a starting point. We'll go like edit type. Okay, let me just select and duplicate, and we will call that office flooring. We'll say okay. Since I create the new one, so I don't worry, I can mess up with it. The default thickness is 150. As you can see now, there is only one layer of this one. I'm gonna keep it, and I'm gonna select oak flooring as my main layer, and I'm gonna take it to the thickness of 19 millimeter. I'm gonna add 2 more, and I'm gonna push them down. Gonna push number 4 down and number 3 down, and that would be a substrate, and that would be a finish 1 for the substrate would be plywood sheathing, and that's gonna be another 19 millimeter, and that would be a plastic layer, and so we'll get more plastic. That's the one, and that will make it 6 millimeter. That's good enough. It's a 44. Remember this number, we're gonna need it in a minute. Okay, you'll say okay. So 44, that's the office flooring. We will say we can say duplicate, or we can say okay. Select the generic 50 again. We didn't do any flooring yet. We are just creating, we are preparing. Say duplicate. That will be toilet flooring. We'll say okay. Say edit. This one will be sand, cement, screed. Yeah, this is the one. This is gonna be a 50. Yes, I'm gonna add another layer, and that should be finish 1, and this layer will be porcelain. So one of the things, it's a good thing to be shown over here, is that this material is not in my project, it's in the library. So what I can do first, I can simply add it to my document, then I can select it, and that's gonna be a 10 millimeter. I'm pressing enter, it's going to the other one, to the other side. I'm gonna insert another layer, and that should be finish, or we'll make it a membrane layer, and that will be damp proofing. Yes, a damp proofing with, since it's a membrane layer, there is no real thickness for it. And this is going to be a 60 millimeter. We're going to say, okay, we will not go out. We'll say duplicate. And we will call this entry and corridor or corridors. We'll say okay. And we're going to do a small edit. That's going to be 30, not 50. And we need a 50 because it's going to, all the piping for the hot water, cold water, and the sanitary will be used. So we need a 50 millimeter as our thickness for the layer for the toilets. But for the outside work, there is no water and these things. And the material that we're going to use over here is not porcelain. We will use terrazzo. Again, terrazzo is not in my project. I'm just loading it and then selecting it. It's going to be 10. The total is going to be 40. So 3 things that we created in the past minutes is we created flooring, additional flooring above the current flooring, which is for offices, for toilets, and for the entry and the corridors. And we're going to say okay. And we will do some working. So you have to remember 3 numbers, 44, 60, and 40. These are the thicknesses of the 3 families or the 3 types that we created. We'll say okay. And I will start with the offices. And I can just simply type over here OF. And you can see now it actually sorted them out and filtered it. And we have to recall that it's a 44, so we need to do a height offset from level 44. If we don't do this, it'll end up sinking inside our current floor, which we don't want to. So it's either you consider that the flooring for the 2 offices is single, and the gypsum board will not cut them, or you can consider each one as a separate one. So it's up to you. That's something that you have to decide. We'll make sure it's not extended. It's from inside to inside. We can select pick lines if we want to. We can select pick walls if we want to. Both are acceptable. So we're going to do some additional work, and we have to press escape and then do some working, cleaning, and this thing. Now lots of people like to add the floor to this part, and there's no harm in that, by the way. I can do it so easily. And of course a highlight will be shown. And as we did that previously, we need to split the element with delete inner segment in 2 places. Then we're gonna clean it like that. Okay, great. Now I cannot make two of these, but what I can do the following. I can click on the finish edit mode. Since it's selected, I can copy it. And once I copy it, I can copy it to this, and you can see it fits 100%. Now, what we need to do is I'm pressing tab up until I can select this by clicking. Now I'm selecting the two floors, and I can mirror. There you go. I'm doing the job that I should do always. I'm selecting these two, holding the control. Now I can tap until I see. Then I can click with holding the control, then tap, hold the control and click. Now I am selecting the four floors, and I can select mirror pick axis and do it like that. It fits 100%. Now what I can do as a continuous effort, I can select all floors that I did and copy them to the second or to the first floor. But let me do the flooring for the toilets, and that's how I will do it. I will go and select toilet flooring. Okay, I'm so sorry. Now I have to start the command from the beginning. Then I'll select toilet flooring, and as I did previously, I'll switch this off, then select the wall. Okay, I can the cleaning will be in the next step. Press space so you can clean. Okay, this with this. Oh, this is selected wrongly. So what we need to do is to select this part. No, it's not selected. Okay, what we need to do is to clean it up. Then we can just simply move it. I can click on this and just move it inside, then move it to the edge, just like this. Again, we need to create for. No, I did a mistake. It's not right. I want to draw and want to start from here up the way to here with a warning. Don't worry, we know what we are doing. So again, the same old story, some cleaning to do for the profile, and there you go. That's the one. Make sure that you are doing a toilet flooring, but here we need to make it 60. You have to remember that it's not 44. And once you do that, you click on this, and right away, since it's selected, you can say mirror and use this. Now let's go tap, 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 tap. Once highlighted, hold the control and click it, mirror it, and there you go. Now it's covered up. Perfect. Now the third one should be the easy one because it's big, so it's easy to control. We'll go to floor architectural. We'll select entry and corridors. This is a 40, not a 60. So what we will do, we'll no extend to core, and make sure that is to the inside, from inside to the inside. Perfect. Yeah, there is a problem over here which we need to address. Some cleaning. Do we need some cleaning over here? No, everything is in place 100%. And we will create similar, and then select the walls, this wall, this wall, this wall, and this wall, and we'll do some cleaning again. Oh, there is a problem. We'll sort it out in a moment. Yes, we are cleaning it. The problem is that the it's going inside. Why going inside? Because it's extended. Yes, select that and remove the extended, but we have to remove it. We have to, okay, we have to select it like that. Yes. And we have to create a very small rectangle. You have to be somehow meticulous in order to do your work the right way. We have to remove this first, then cut this like that, and then do some cleaning. Yes, it's going smoothly. That's what we wanted. Again, this it's not right. Yes, and this is okay. Yeah, this is not right. Yes, now it's right. Every one is correct. And there you go. Now, one of the things that I would like always to do is to create a section just to double check my work. And the section should be, double click on the section. If you look at it and just see a realistic and fine, you can see now this is the different layers of both of my floors, and this is what I want. This is how things are connected together. So that's what we're doing. As if we are building something for the real construction. So everything should be in place. Everything should be accounted for. Now, the thing that we would like, we can go on with our floors, but since we finished our floors, of course you have to copy whatever you did in the ground floor to the first floor. It's just typical. So what we need to do is we need to build over here a wall, especially for the toilets, and I'll show you two methods, but my favorite is the first one, but the second one is existing in Revit. It's up to you to decide which one you want to use. My way of doing the job is to do two walls attached to each other, which is very important to understand it. The second one is to manipulate my wall family, and to change it in a way that it would show a different layer. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna show you the following. I'm gonna go to wall architectural. I'm gonna select, let me see, I will select generic, one of the generics. Say I'll select generic 200, and I'll say edit type. Then I'll say edit. No, I'll say duplicate. and I'll call it special toilet wall, or whatever the name is. I'll say okay, I'll say edit, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna introduce certain layers inside my work, but the only layer missing over here is the tiles, and I want to make it 1000 millimeters. So I'm gonna go over here and select one of the tiles. Okay, tile mosaic gray, that's the one. I'll load it into my project and I'll select it, and the thickness of this is 8 millimeter, and that's the one. And I'll say okay, and I'll say okay again. Now this is the special one, and I will set it to be unconnected and with 1 meter, that's 1000 for the parameter of the toilet. And I will select finish interior, exterior, finish interior, that's the one. And if I can flip it to the inside, you can see the thickness, and it goes now to the inside, which I don't want to. So okay, we will stop that. Okay, I'm gonna remove that, and I will use a very small technique: wall architectural, special toilet wall, join status. It's gonna be, I'm gonna turn this off, this allow. So I'm gonna do the face interior. I'm gonna do it from right to left, and it's gonna stop in the right place. And I'm gonna stop it over here. Then I'll go over here and stop doing the work. We'll continue doing the same thing over here. Flip it. That's why I'm doing it in to disallow the joining that I'm using. I should add more. Let me start it from here, flip it to the inside, and there you go. Now the four things, now we can manipulate it by simply just doing that, as if the walls is actually stopping at each other. Other than that, you are leaving things to Revit to control, but this way I'm actually control it by myself, because it's only the thickness of the terrazzo or the mosaic. It's only the thickness of that. Yes, you can select this, just take it to the outside. Okay, that's how things will be done. Now let's go to the section. It's gonna help us make a simple, that's the thing. And you can see now it sinks inside the wall. This is a 60 millimeter. So what we need to do is we need to go and just simply come over here and try to select, no, not that one. Yes, I should select all of, I should have done that, but I just as a reminder for you that you may mistakes, so how to correct them. Now from now on, just simply take care of the thickness of your floor and make sure that there is a base offset of 60 millimeter for that one. When you go to the section, you can see now that the terrazzo now is above the ceiling, not above the floor, the internal floor, not below it. So this is how things will be done if you want to do your work like that. Another way of doing it is by going to the floor itself and make some manipulation. We'll go to, I'm selecting the internal floor, the internal wall. I'll say edit type, I'll say duplicate, and I'll say special toilet. And I'll say okay. Again, I will emphasize that I don't like this method, but I want to just simply show it to you and discuss it. So we'll go now to the edit. And as you can see, let me just simply take this off and preview. So you should always make sure that the section modify view is that the view that you need, and don't make lots of zooming over here. So if you click on this, it will be highlighted, as you can see. So this is the inside part of your wall. Okay. Now let me just, yes. Now what I can do, I can insert, let me go this up. No, not this down. Yes, let me add, it's a finish and 5, just like the same degree of the one above it. And over here, I'm gonna say tile mosaic gray. This is the one. I'm not gonna assign a thickness for it, but instead I'm gonna say split region. I'm gonna measure 1 meter. That's the one. And yes, make sure it's a 1 meter. Make sure it cuts. Yes, it doesn't, because if it cuts it, that should be variable. So we'll do it again. Split region. Sometimes you need to click on modify and say split region. Yes. And try to, you have to be very careful, by the way. And that's, yes, a little bit down. Yeah, okay. Somehow very tricky. I need a value of 1000. That's the one. And I'll click. Once this turned to variable, you mean you are successful, because this is what we want. Now you cannot simply assign what you need to do now is to click on modify. Don't make the mistake of pressing on escape. Just simply click on modify. Now you say click on the finish, say assign layers, and come over here and click. Once you see the same numbers over here, that means you are successful. Now we can click on the modify. Now as you can see, we have 2 different materials. One is the mosaic gray and the second is the gypsum wall board. That's one of the methods. I think it's very tricky method. The first method that is very I thought that it was very practical. This is what they do actually in their work. Great. Go to the PDF and search for tutorial 8, and go to the RVT files and search for tutorial 8 and solve the exercise. Solve the tutorial. Wishing you all the luck. Thank you very much.